apart from one incident, I had very little interest in consciousness until I encountered the ancient Egyptian books of the dead. Perhaps I should say what that one incident was. That one incident happened to me when I was 18 or 19 years old. And it was a massive electric shock, a near fatal electric shock. And I distinctly remember, I was very aware of it at the time, that I left my body and I found myself up around the light in the kitchen where I was, looking down at my body. And I thought, how strange and how interesting, what's going on here? And it didn't go further than that. I was back into my body, and I got up, and I was kind of okay. But that excuse me, that memory of being outside my body and looking down on my body, I think planted in my mind the notion that whatever I am not my body. I'm something else. I'm connected to the body, definitely, but that isn't me. That doesn't define me. And that happened at an early age in my teens. Subsequently, I put it out of my mind for many years until I encountered the ancient Egyptian funerary texts. And I encountered those in the course of my main focus of my work is the possibility of a lost civilization, and whether some of the most ancient civilizations provide us with clues to the nature of that lost civilization and indeed to its spirituality. And this required me to read the ancient Egyptian pyramid texts and the derivative versions thereof, which include the ancient Egyptian coffin texts, the book of what is in the Duat, and the famous Book of the Dead. These texts all describe in detail a journey that the soul makes after death, where the soul is confronted in complete transparency and openness with the nature of his or her life and how it was lived, and is required to account for it. And initially, my reaction was, why does this matter? And then when I thought about it more, I thought, well, actually, hang on. The ancient Egyptians put their best minds at work for 3,000 years to try to understand the mystery of death. And perhaps we should listen to what they are saying. As part of this process, this inquiry into the ancient texts, by the way, the Hermetic texts are also stunningly significant and really reach deep into the nature of reality and the nature of consciousness. And they're kind of derivative from the ancient Egyptian texts. But as part of this and beyond this, I then, researching another book, found it necessary to take psychedelics. The book purported or began life as explaining cave art. And I came across a very powerful theory by Professor David Lewis Williams at the University of Witwatersrand in South Africa, that cave art and the universal features of cave art all around the world were best explained if the artists had experienced altered states of consciousness and were depicting what they saw in their visions. So I'm a kind of boots on the ground researcher, and I needed to go have those visions. I'd had one LSD trip in 1975, but it wasn't until the second half of the 1990s that I began this research with psychedelics, particularly with ayahuasca, the vine of the dead, or the vine of souls, from South America. And I just had such extraordinary experiences of a seamlessly convincing parallel realm filled with intelligent entities who seemed to want to communicate with me in certain ways, and who seemed to convey moral teachings and asked me to examine the nature of my life and the impact that I had on other people. This is a very powerful, transformative experience, and it solidified that notion that I am not my body, that I am not my brain, but somehow the body and the brain provide an interface to other levels of reality. In short, reality is much more complex than it at first appears to be. It goes deeper and deeper into layer upon layer, and I'm not sure if we'll ever get to the bottom of it.